Hi everyone, this is Glassy Linshata. If you are new here, please click the subscribe button below. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back to watch our video. So today we are going to talk about two sets of celebrities, one in Kenya and several in Nigeria. So let's start with Kenya. So Bahati Kioko is still on the race for Mathare as a member of parliament for Mathare constituency, and is going to be on the ballot next month elections. So on Friday 1st July, he held the Bahati's and Friends party, and the who is who in the entertainment industry in Kenya came out in their numbers to support Bahati so that he could raise enough money to run his campaign. And for us here in Glassy Linshata channel, we really appreciate the Kenyan entertainment industry for showing so much support to their celebrities, to the people that are in the industry, and this is very good. It's a good show of support, and because they believe in what the Bahatis actually stand for, and which is a very good thing. And in future we would like to see more of this, actually, especially when some of these celebrities are running for seats. But one thing that I saw, or one question that was asked by one of the fans during the event, let me just say that was held in Kenya, was that one of the fans asked the Bahatis whether they were expecting a baby. And this actually made me feel like, of course, Bahati answered the fan, and he said that he actually asked Diana, Diana, are you expecting a baby? Of course, he didn't really say yes or no. That was not the answer that he gave, but he was just comical about it at the end of the day. But I want to focus on the fan base of these our celebrities. And this is why fans can build or destroy a celebrity. The amount of expectations that are with fans is too much. The amount of expectation is just too much. And why do I say this? Let's go to the Nigerian set of celebrities, and let me say the first set is Yul and Doche, for instance. Yul and Doche and May and Judy. So Yul is one of the Nollywood actors, and in March he married a second wife. If you've not watched our previous video on Yul, please make sure that you go back and watch. So he came out, he married a second wife in secret, and the way he responded and handled the whole polygamy issue, fans were not satisfied. So apparently the first wife, May, told him that I'm not in this polygamy with you, you are on your own on this. And she has since then taken aside, she has been doing her own things by herself. And she has gotten a lot of endorsements, endorsement after endorsement. She never created any drama. She did not respond to this man in any way. She did not entertain any kind of online exchange. The only thing she said is that God was going to fight for her. And now she comes out last week and says she believes God has fought for her, because really you can see the amount of endorsements that she has received. But one thing I want to highlight about this discussion, about this what is happening to the Yuls or to the Ndoches. One thing that I want to highlight is that fans were able to witness what happened between Yul, part of what happened, because nobody knows for sure what really happened behind the doors. But people have been able to witness that this woman was wronged. So for her, it is easy, and people are supporting her. Let's look at the case of FUNKE Akindele, for instance. JJC Skills, or Bello, is the husband of FUNKE Akindele, or was the husband until last week when he came out and announced that they were no longer together, and the relationship had ended. Their marriage had come eat the rocks, and it had ended, and that he was told by FUNKE 3 months ago to leave the house, and he left. So apparently the rumors that were going around the internet, which I don't want them to be focus of our discussion today, was that the two of them cheated on each other. But that's not the point here. The point is that he came out and announced, but before then he was playing the game, and both of them were playing that the relationship is still working, they're still together. They were telling everybody the relationship is okay. And one thing that I say about Funke, she made a mistake, because like Father's Day, this guy had already left the house. She came out and started celebrating. Of course, she had to celebrate because she has kids with the father, but calling him sweet names, my dear, our love, I mean, there wasn't any way, it wasn't working. So she didn't have to do all that. But I understand she was doing that because she wants to make the fans still believe that their marriage is still working. And because they had put so much information in social media, that taking back whatever they had put into social media becomes so difficult. And this is also one thing that these celebrity marriages like face a lot of challenges. I don't want to blame them, because generally celebrities want to know, I mean, the fans want to know everything about these celebrities, how their marriage is looking like, everything. And so they have to pretend that everything is working, everything is together. And it's because of the kind of harsh judgment that comes in when they say things are not working. For instance, in the case of Funke Akindele, she was told, hey, this is why men don't like to marry rich women or women that are wealthy, because they don't respect husbands. Why did you tell your husband to leave the house? Because apparently, according to the African way of thinking, that a man is supposed to leave the house for the woman is the one supposed to leave the house, and the man isn't supposed to leave, even though the man found you like owning the house before, then you cease to own it because you got married. It's a very weird way of thinking, and which does not conform to today's way of life. It is not a realistic way of thinking. It is not a realistic way of like making sense of the whole issue. He left the house, and this is what happened in developed world. For instance, if a woman is living in the house, whether it is the man that bought it or not, as long as she's the one there with the kids, then the man must leave the house and leave the wife there with the kids. That is what happens in cases where there is for instance, domestic violence. So people need to get in touch with what happens in other countries and compare, so that it doesn't always look so weird for us. We are globalized now, and a lot has changed. We are in 21st century, and we need to start thinking like 21st century people. So I'm not saying that Funke Akindele is right. I'm also not saying that Bello did the right thing, because now he came out to announce that he's not with Funke, because you know Funke is also seeking for some nomination as a deputy governor for Lagos State under ADC. So I think he also wanted to sabotage or spoil for her, so that she looks like a woman that she's not what people think she is. But you know, Funke's personal life and what Funke can do for people should be two separate things. And let me give, for instance, the case of Kenya. We have a deputy we have a deputy president that is coming in. That is Martha Karua, seeking for election with Raila Amolo Odinga. And she's not married, and nobody is discussing that. And it's a non-issue, because we are more worried about what Martha Karua can do for us as Kenyans, not whether she's married or not. That is her personal life, and it does not help us in any way. Relationships can work, and relationships can fail to work. And that's one thing that people need to sit and accept. You don't have to force it, and you don't have to lose your mind there. It's only he who is alive, or she who is alive, can enjoy this love, this thing called love and marriage. So the fact that it did not work for Funke Akindele should not be a determinant whether she gets that seat as a deputy governor or not. She should be given the support that she deserves without looking at her personal problems. We all have personal problems. It's just that ours are not in the media, because really we are not celebrities. Then another thing that another person I want to talk about is TONTO. TONTO has already gotten, of course, a nomination, and I congratulate the party ADC for doing that. And it's because it is time we stopped focusing on marriages. Of course, TONTO marriage never worked. She was not able to handle it properly. She was confused, and everybody is judging her. She's afraid she lost, of course, a lot during that time, because according to Africa, as a woman, you're supposed to sit there and die there, say nice things about your husband, even if you are crying. And that is what the generation of today has refused to do, to say nice things when somebody does not deserve it. Because a lot of the generation before us lost so many lives because of pretending marriage is working when it is not working. And this is a call for every single man and woman out there, that it has to be honest. It has to be good. It has to work. So people like TONTO Eke who have come out shouldn't be judged based on marriage. And let me give fathers, for men, they are never judged like that. Look at, for example, Donald Trump. He had his own marriage that never worked, but he still came into power. And he became the president of the US. In UK, for instance, Boris Johnson, before he came into power, he was cohabiting. He wasn't really in a proper marriage. He was in marriage before. It never worked. But still, he became the Prime Minister of UK. So when it is to the man, for instance, it feels more acceptable. For the woman, not. But I believe the Nigerian society is going to prove them wrong, because FUNKE Akindele and TONTO Eke will get supported, and especially by the fan base. Please make sure you share this video so that as many people as possible can come out and support these women. Let's look at the case of Chacha Eke. Chacha, she's also an Hollywood actor. She has been gracing our screens for the longest time that we know. So she's out there saying that, hey, you people, I'm sorry, I've been pretending, it hasn't been working. So because we don't know whether really the way she announced before that, she had came out like some 2 years ago and announced the same thing, but she still maintained the marriage. But we now know that she has unfollowed the husband. She came out and said, I'm sorry, I've been pretending, it is not working. There has been so much abuse, including physical abuse. Please, you people, I'm here. I don't want you to wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I lost my life, and that I went missing, and everybody will conclude, oh. But you see, for her, she came and announced that she had bipolar condition, of which we are not saying is a wrong thing that she did, but we don't know whether it is true or not, or she was just being forced to say so that her marriage can stay intact. It's something that we still don't know. But I think for the fan base that I'm actually saying was my focus in today's video, or is my focus, we need to be able to appreciate our celebrities with good or bad news. When we are supporting them and following them the way we do, it is because we feel connected to whatever they do, and we want to just follow either for entertainment reasons or for some sort of like something we want just to see, or for actually because we really love them. So it's like we are in a relationship with them. So whether they give us good or bad news, they are part or parcel of our family. We need to be able to take the good news when it comes and the bad news when it comes. We are not very good in handling bad news as fan base. And for our celebrities, wherever they are, in the entire continent of Africa, we need to be able to take the bad news as well. Because all these people, especially the women, so many women follow them. They see them as an example. They want to see that, okay, these people have been able to do it, so I can also do it. So I think we need to be able to accept them. Because when we shun them, shame them, stop supporting them, simply because a marriage never worked, it is, for us, it shows that we have not yet matured enough to be able to understand these things. So we need to mature in the social media, allow me to say that, so that we can be able to support people for who they are, not because they are married, not because their marriages aren't working. Relationships are so difficult. These two people come together, they don't know each other, they grew from different places, in different families. The socialization, the way they grew up affects the way who they become and who they are, which is different from the one that they paint for us when we see them in the social media. So we need to be able to differentiate all that. And here in Classy Link Chatter platform, we are here to do this job, and we promise to do it and deliver it very well for you, the fan base, and to our celebrities. Please share our video and also leave us some comment below. What do you think? Should marriage define our celebrities? Should we support them only because they are married, and when they are not married, then we cease our support? What do you think? Please leave us your comment below, and let's see you in the next video. Thank you.